Hello, fellow old schoolers. So, Andy and I have decided to make our audio pod available as video on YouTube as well. So, not only do you get to hear our dulcimer tones, but you also get to look at our ugly mugs as well. If you're watching this, then you're probably already aware of that. But what you may not know is that our audio pod is going to include some extras that won't be on the video. So, this is going to include some bonus interviews with other players from events, other club members, maybe some Sisters of the Flame, and we're going to do some segments such as Cards of the Week, recent brews, pickups, fun of one ofs, and a whole lot more.
Yeah,
Except probably not. No, probably not anything more than that. Go ahead, Andy.
but no, as always, don't forget our website is www.thebottomlessvault.com, and it has links to all the audio and video podcasts on your favorite streaming sites. So you don't miss a beat. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out.
Smash that like button.
We are back for another exciting episode of the Bottomless Vault. And this time of year, it gets kind of tough because there's not that much old school Magic being played. The holiday seasons are coming up. Everybody is kind of having family time. And it's tough to find old school events, but I managed to find one.
Um,
And
I will preempt you, Andy, by saying exciting might be hyperbole, but yeah, everyone's got a lot going on with their families and not a lot going on in terms of events. But Andy, he got there.
I I I was invited to and I found out about Bootlegger's Ball. And I was all for it. It's pretty much I'm going to say 4 hour drive from Atlanta to Nashville. And I was like, hey, it's magic. It's tapping cards, casting spells. I'm in.
Andy had mentioned this a couple months ago when he was setting up his trip, and I was like, "Is this the thing I should be going to?" And he was like, "No, no, you don't want to go to that." And
You don't want
because
to
these
go.
formats, while they're super awesome and like I can't wait to get into them. Yes, I would have had no idea what the hell I was doing.
Yeah, it's not traditional old school. The Music City Old School group really are the pioneers and of Alpha to Alliances, and they've been on that for a while, and they've kind of expanded their old school uh, group. I mean, their old school kind of playing to include other sets,
it's
and they're
it's been
really.
it's, it's been about 3 years now with Alpha Two Alliances, right? I think it was like 2021 ish that they really got that rolling. So
I actually think it's been longer than that. It was they
yeah,
s-
maybe 2019. I
they
read it
start
somewhere.
they started. I think they started. Yeah, I definitely know that this is number five.
Yeah.
Bootlegger's Ball number five. So
Okay, so maybe
it's
it was 2019, or maybe
but then
maybe even before that.
we do have COVID in there, so I don't know
Right.
how that works, but they have been kind of playing other formats. They're a lot of the guys down there are into vintage and like to play with the old kind of Type One format, which
It's
has
cool to see like the pre-modern as you were card pool mixed in with like the old school power cards to give it like that vintage kind of feel
right.
without all like the new stuff. It's super cool.
It's like Type One.
Step
It's
one,
like
yeah.
back in the day Type One, and I think that's what they like a lot. So that's what I signed up for, and I have never played a Alpha to Alliances tournament or a classic tournament. So I told Jared that he probably shouldn't spend his husband points to travel down here, and should
Yeah,
probably
as it turned out, that would have been ill-advised.
yeah.
But I'm stoked to talk about it because it looks super cool.
But I'm here, and I had a great time. and we're going to talk about it.
Again, exciting, probably not, but this might turn out to be interesting.
Well,
for
let's
some.
not let's not
So
downplay
let's up
this.
short.
We got some stories. So the ride over there, I drove. It didn't make sense for me to take a plane, but I drove down there, and one of the
And where
people.
are you driving from, Andy?
I'm driving from
Just in case
Atlanta.
anyone knows.
I'm driving from
Hotlanta.
Atlanta. I'm driving from Atlanta, and
Solo?
yeah, actually, there was one other. We had two people from Atlanta representing our club, Lords of Atlanta.
And they elected to not travel with you, which doesn't surprise me at all. Go ahead, continue.
No, I actually found out that the other person, Will Kirkwood, who was going out there, I didn't know he was going until then, and I think that we were just leaving at different times.
Sure.
So we both kind of drove on our own. Also, I was leaving directly. I work nights, and so I left directly from work, which is actually closer to Nashville. So it didn't make sense for me to travel. I have an hour commute from work, so it didn't make sense for me to travel 1 hour back home and then sleep and then travel back again for an hour. So it was like 2 hours of wasted time. So I just
In case anyone's wondering what Andy does for work, he works nights.
I work nights. So
But
enough of that.
also,
So-
getting back to so you have a legit crew in Atlanta now, the Lords of Atlantis, and you
do.
play with these guys like at meetups and that kind of thing.
we
So
do.
you're
We have. Well, the guys down here, they've been playing for a long time before I moved here, and they kind of fell off. And when I moved down here about a year and a half ago now, maybe, and they weren't getting together as much. So I kind of really pushed for it because I was coming from New York, and the New York scene with the sisters is crazy. There's so many players, so I was like,
vibrant.
It's very vibrant. New York, New Jersey crew. There's a lot of people wanting to play, so I was like, I need to get some meetups. So I was really pushing for them to meet up, and now we get maybe once a month we'll get like 4 to 5 guys.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah,
you gotta sense. Here's the thing: there's people everywhere that want to play Magic. It's just
Right.
like doing the organizing and getting people together. That's the tough part. But
you got to push for it. So
you gotta push.
Will is one of the guys who comes out to meetups, and he's a cool guy, and he also went, but we did not go together. I stopped by one of the people who put me onto this. I think it was Josh Bergoa. He lives in Chattanooga. Josh Bergoa of Plain Sam Black at LobsterCon fame.
What a beating!
He was in the attendance, and he's I'm pretty sure he put in some work in organizing the event. He definitely put in some work in organizing the raffle and all this stuff. As from what Casey was telling me, and he put me onto the event, and I've been wanting to run an event down here because there's not that much other than Bootleggers Ball. There's not that much down here in terms of big, huge events, and this was only maybe like 30 something people. Not that
that's
which is a good size,
as Mano would call it, the sweet spot.
Right. That's a good size. I mean, I don't want to run a 100-person whatever LobsterCon event, but it would be nice to run an event because I just like doing it. So I was put in contact with Josh, who I've known for a while, and he gave me a spot in Chattanooga to check out on the way up, like a beer hall or beer garden type place. So I drove up at, oh God knows, I don't know, it was probably like 6, 7 a.m. And I I drove
time to show to a beer garden.
Right. So I drove, and as much as I could, and then I fell asleep on the side of the road, and then I kept on driving, and I stopped by, and it was a nice place, very spacious, whatever. I actually stopped by again on the way back. But
I fell asleep on the side of the road. Do you have any concern for your own safety whatsoever?
No, it's called a rest stop. Okay, it's called look into it. Interstates have rest stops.
When you actually rest at a rest stop,
or you're a trucker. I don't know.
Well, yeah, well, you're not. But anyway, continue.
But anyway, so I saw, I stopped by Chattanooga. That was pretty cool. I did see a spot that,
Did you take a ride on the Chattanooga Choo Choo?
no, not this time.
I had to ask. I'm sorry.
Maybe in the future I will. But the yeah, so I checked it out. It looks pretty cool. I don't know if I'm going to have an event in Nashville or in Chattanooga because I think Nashville is easier to get to logistically from around the U.S.
The flights there are pretty cheap from what I've gathered.
But Chattanooga is more is like more central to everybody around here. Like the Atlanta
Yeah.
people can drive 2 hours, the Nashville people can drive 2 hours. The Chattanooga, well, like there's like two people in Chattanooga, but they're there, and it's like more central. People from Knoxville and stuff. Um,
Tennessee's a very long state.
it is, yeah.
It's deceptively long. Like a pencil.
Uh, so that was cool. I ended up spending my time at a bro house with Josh and his brother and like five or six other guys, mostly from Indianapolis and the surrounding areas, I guess, which is cool. I didn't know too many of them. I think yeah, no, I kind of met them for the first time there, but they were all pretty cool. Josh kind of came up to me. He's like, "Hey, I do have a space if you want to crash." I was like, "Yeah, yeah, sure, that sounds good." He's like, "But we can get pretty rowdy. I don't know if it's something you want to." And I'm
By
like,
rowdy, you
"What?
mean
What is? Wait, what do you
did,
mean? This is
did
not
you
my first event."
did you have to explain to them that you don't drink though, Andy? Did you have to have that
No,
moment?
he didn't know, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't drink, but this is not my first rodeo. Like
You
I've
you
stayed at,
hang. You hang.
I have hung out with, I have been in bro houses before, and I was like, wait a second, I think he knows that. So are they into something that I should know about? So that gave me pause, and I was like, wait, how? What do you mean by rowdy? He was like, no, no, we're just like, there's a lot of drinking, and we'll probably stay up until like 2 or 3 a.m. And I was like, fine, yeah, that's run of the mill, buddy. That's fine. Um, so I signed up, and obviously I was the first person there, and but everybody seemed nice, really cool, really chill. Uh,
It's the beauty of magic, right? Like as long as you have that in common, like everything else just kind of works itself out.
yeah, I met uh, Joe Singer. He does the
The
orb,
orb.
the orb YouTube content, and
Lightning bolt.
yeah, what's interesting is I've only seen one of his YouTube videos, but it
It's
it
not something
almost seems
it's
like
not something you want to leave on your TV when you fall asleep and then wake up to that lightning bolt sound
I didn't
happening.
I
You might
didn't
think you're being shot at, but it's awesome content, and we appreciate Joe for putting it out there.
and
It's good stuff.
he did record some stuff, so there'll probably be some matches on his
Sweet.
channel. So go to that if if you like to watch kind of match content, which is great. And he almost seems like when I met him, his personality is almost different. I would say compared to the Orb. The Orb is
Are you
almost like
are you, call, you
broadcaster.
are you calling him a phony, Andy?
No, no, no. I'm not calling him a phony. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying he was really funny, really cool, really
Okay.
quick,
Yeah, yeah.
quick.
He,
His
he's very dry and matter of fact in his like
right,
his commentary. Yeah, yeah.
right. Like he puts on this announcer thing, but I think his real personality is really, he's quick witted. He's very funny. He's very
Yeah.
charismatic, and I would love for that to, maybe I haven't seen enough Orb videos, but I would love for that to be.
Well, he should find himself a goober like you did to do, like a know nothing goober, just to bounce stuff off of. That way he could,
Yeah,
you know.
maybe we'll send you over there.
I'm gonna get free transfer. Joe, I'm coming your way, bud.
Just as
Andy's already
a
sick of me.
just like we'll do a just an internship or something.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, he was great. He was awesome. I played him in some AAA,
Ooh, we'll
Yeah,
get to that.
and he was rocking the typical kind of black resource denial kind of deck, and I was like, ugh, your deck's actually good. so
Yeah.
so I gave him some cards, um, but that was cool. Who else did I meet? David Craig. He's from I think he's from, I want to say, Arizona. I don't know. Sorry, Dave. I've actually met David before briefly at a chalice, but I forget which state he's from. But he's out from out west, I believe.
You do meet a
Um,
lot of people at
yeah,
these things, and
and
it's kind of
it's
keep
I'm
track. It's tough
I'm
to keep track of all that stuff.
I'm horrible at names. I'm pretty
And
good at
also, you're
faces.
sick. You're sick now, and you're
Yeah,
usually sick, so your brain's probably foggy.
right.
Just all you do is apologize. Yep. See,
Yeah, see, I'm sick, but
guys.
whatever. It's fine. The show must go on. Um, what else? So that was fun. And then after that, I took a nap, and we went out to,
We need to rest up.
as much as one can take a nap at a bro house. Um, what else can we talk about? And then I guess that's Friday.
Okay. So, you were staying with Josh?
Right? Yeah, I was staying with Josh,
Okay.
his brother, uh, Joe,
So,
David,
so,
and a
all
couple other
right. Well,
guys.
let's. You've durdled enough. Like, so, like, how close were you guys to the venue? And then, like, what was the deal with the Friday event?
We were pretty close. Obviously, I was driving the guys there because it just makes sense. So I don't know. It was like maybe like 5-10 minutes, and to the classic tournament on Friday, and we were probably like 15 minutes away from the place on Saturday. So I was ready with my
Did you go
classic.
specifically because all these guys were like housing shots of Malort at like 9 o'clock in the morning, or?
They actually seemed pretty sober when they first got there, so
Oh, okay.
did not seem that way towards the end of the night.
I think that's probably what they were talking about
Some
earlier.
people, some people woke up buzzing. I'm not gonna
Okay.
name names, but yeah, some people had a good time. Yeah, yeah, but
just,
that's
just
good.
fun. Take the edge off.
That's good, man. More power to you. You have fun. You're
Listen,
you're
everyone
you're
gets to
out.
enjoy
You're out.
themselves.
You're in a you're in a safe place with friends. What else are you gonna do? So my approach to this classic thing.
So, yeah, let's get into that a little bit, Andy. So Friday was the classic format. So
and
what does classic entail?
And the classic is basically an old form of Type One, from my understanding. It's everything from Alpha to Scourge,
Right.
and that is a huge card pool.
Massive. And from what Casey put in his tournament report, like that's the kind of the feeling he wanted to go for. That like it was 2003, and like anyone could show up with anything, and like it could win,
Yeah,
which is super cool, right?
it is. And so one day, I pulled it up on whatever Scryfall, and I set the advanced filter to do everything from Alpha to Scourge. I didn't put Alpha in all the old school cards because I know them, but whatever was in addition to old school, I put that in there, and it took me like 4 cards to figure out what I was gonna play. The fourth card was acidic sliver, and I was like, wait, how many slivers are here? So then I just went on a thing, and I decided to play slivers.
So
That
so you completely raw dogged this, Andy. Like you just like looked on your own. You didn't like get any like guidance from any of the guys that had played this like before, or
no, Josh was really helpful in kind of providing me with links to previous uh, tournaments, and what people have played in the past. And when I was looking at that, I did look at that, and there was a lot of blue kind of combo, a lot of blue control, because obviously you
Sure.
have
You get Brain Story, you can get Force of Will. You
yeah,
know, it's a lot.
a lot of strong cards. So a
Just
lot.
just just to preempt real quick, Andy, because I have no idea what the hell acidic sliver does, because I was already out of the game mostly by Stronghold. But this
It's
is a red black 2/2 that each sliver gains 2 comma sacrifice this creature. This creature deals 2 damage to target creature playing. So
I
it turns slivers into a Stormbind, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, it's not even that powerful. Like I don't even think I played it in my main deck at all. I just saw Sliver, and I was like,
Sure.
wait, let me now look at all the slivers that are legal, and then I'll take it from there. I'll just pick the best
There's a
ones.
reason Sliver Queen is still like high value reserve list cards,
Yeah,
because the cards are just intriguing and they're sweet and they certainly can be powerful. I remember playing our own Ty Thomason in a pre-modern match, and he was using slivers and he absolutely pounded my face in with them.
yeah.
So
Sliver Queen, I don't even think is the best legendary sliver. The Sliver Overlord is even better. The Sliver Overlord is the same casting cost, one of each color. It's 7/7, and you get to tutor for any sliver in your deck for 3 mana, which is
yeah,
pretty insane.
to be clear, Sliver Queen's just like 2 mana, put a Sliver token into play, which is a 1/1. So like, yeah, I would say that's strictly better, but sure.
Um, the other thing that kind of there are a couple of I guess updates on Oracle text in this format. There's only two. One is Time Vault, and the other is Illusionary Mask. The Time Vault one is that it plays the way you active the way okay. It's two casting
Use your
cost.
words.
It's two casting cost. Comes into play tap. Doesn't untap during your untap step. Nothing's changed. Then
It's time.
skip your next turn. Untap Time Vault and put a time counter on it.
So
So
that's what they did. That's what they did with the Oracle text to prevent like
like
twiddling.
Voltaic key kind of
Right,
shenanigans,
right. Yeah,
because you have to remove the Time Vault
the time
counter
counter.
as
Right,
part of
by
the
skipping a turn.
activation
Right.
to get an extra turn. The other one is Illusionary Mask, which is I think in Power Errata, I think it makes it better in that the way it's worded here
Doesn't
is
doesn't matter what mana you spend.
exactly. It's basically
Yeah.
X colon put a creature card with converted mana cost X from your hand into play face down as a 0/1 creature. And then you put X mask counters on it and play this ability anytime you play a sorcery. So you could cast the creature, quote unquote, for any mana X, as long as it's the casting cost.
So it's like it's like selling tickets for beer at a speakeasy instead of money.
Right. Yeah, I guess so.
That's
Um,
that's good though, because Illusionary Mask is like a card that could use a little bit of like a little bit of improvement, because
yeah.
like when you have to keep track of the mana you're using, which Andy has done ad nauseum, it's a little obnoxious. So, like I feel like the flavor of Illusionary Masters should be you should be able to pay whatever color you want to put something out face down. So like that's awesome.
Yeah. And it doesn't usually the way old school works is illusionary mass doesn't the creature doesn't flip over unless it's tapped, deals or receives damage, and
Right.
the way it works in classic, it doesn't turn over until the controller chooses to turn it over. So at any time at instant speed, you could say, okay, I'm flipping it.
So you can't treat it like it's like a morph or whatever, and just bolt it or swords it, and then it dies as a 2/2 or whatever. So like in
No,
response to a bolt, you can just flip the creature.
yeah, you could,
Right.
and you can attack and still not choose to flip it. You know, you can attack it as a
Oh,
0/1,
okay.
and you could deal 0 damage and still not choose to flip it. You could choose it to flip whenever you want
Oh, right.
to.
Yeah, yeah. I forgot it's a 0/1. It's not even a
Yeah,
morph thing. It's not
yeah.
like 2/2.
So that kind of opens up little lines of play. That also, because of the way it's worded, you can if you choose to flip it, they can respond by bolting it, and they can kill your creature before it flips. So
Right.
I don't know if it's better or worse. It's better in terms of mana because you could tap your Soul Ring and your Strip Mine, pay 3 colorless, and play a Ball Lightning face down, which I thought was great with slivers because all these slivers are different colors. So that was my thinking.
I think it makes the interaction with the card more interesting for sure. Like
Yeah,
in both regards.
I think if you really wanted to spike, you play Dreadnought, obviously.
Of
I
course.
did not because Dreadnought is not a sliver, so I probably should have. But if I
Kind of
did
looks
that,
like one.
if I did what I should all the time, you know,
He would be
what
resting
fun?
at rest stops.
Yeah, what fun is that? Clearly, I did not do well. But anyway,
All right, so classic.
so classic. So I don't even know if anybody cares about my deck because I did worse. But I did so bad, but I don't even think we should even talk about it.
Andy did really, really bad. Do you want to talk about your finish here?
Not really.
Okay, well I will. 26 out of 27. Okay, 4 points. The
Got there.
27th place only had 3 points, but 27th or dead last at least had 27.27 game win percentage. Andy had 14.29%
How
game
is
win
that possible?
percentage.
I don't know.
I feel like they must have missed something there 'cause it seems impossible, but I still find it very amusing. But
Yeah,
anyway, he did what he wanted to
did
do.
horribly well. Horribly. Yeah, I did bad. I did bad.
So
But
what was I'll go Will Hurst on everybody for a second. What was like the vibe in the room? These guys seem like absolute like a blast. Like looking at these deck photos, like there's a lot of just like ton like number one, these guys are like super proxy friendly. Like
yeah,
they're like half of these decks aren't even real cards, which is awesome, and I fully endorse that. A lot of them are like completely scribbled on like messes. So these guys seem like a really good time.
yeah. This one of the things I asked them is like, can I do proxies? Because I don't want to buy these cards. Like, I don't want to buy any cards. If you don't
No,
do if
no.
you don't accept proxies, I'm going to be bringing an old school deck to
If
this
it's
thing.
not a beta fork, Andy doesn't want to buy it right now.
I'm going to be playing Sedge Troll deck or something. But but they're very proxy friendly. So pretty much my whole deck was proxy because I don't know anything. I don't know any of this stuff. So
You proxied everything, huh? Like
I proxied. What was like the worst proxy? I don't know. I proxied a muscle sliver. Is that bad? A lot of these slivers are actually worth money. People still play. I guess.
this is the point I'm trying to make, dude. Like the people that like slivers are an addiction.
Yeah, is it like a commander thing? I don't know.
I think it's
Probably.
just a thing. I think it's just a thing. Yeah, it's probably a commander thing. But there's still a shitload of these cards, so like they shouldn't be like super expensive,
But
but
they're each like
uncommon.
$7, $8. I'm not going to spend all this money on whatever.
Yeah, that's weird.
Um, but yeah, I did bad.
So
And
where was the event held before you get into
so
the whole who's he what's it?
the event it was two spots. The first event, where was that is a good question.
Wow.
It was a brewery, but I do not remember the name of the brewery. Let me see if I could pull it up here.
I'd like to remind everyone this is a man that rests at rest stops. So if he can't remember stuff so good, don't be
It's
surprised.
bad. It's bad. Um, I should shout them out, right?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. This is an old school event. They always do that. Yeah, I don't know where we played, but we played somewhere and it was fine.
It was in. Let's see. It was in Nashville.
You
the
don't say.
Yeah, that's what I was told. Let's see here. I do remember the Saturday event, which was it's always at their basic at their meetup spot. But let's see here.
Our listenership just got disintegrated for 150, Andy.
Yeah, tell me about it. We'll put it in the show notes. We'll put it in the show notes.
Classic event was held somewhere in Nashville.
So it was in somewhere in Nashville, towards the downtown area, I think, and it was at a very nice brewery that half of which was taken up by us.
Cool.
But it was a nice little. It wasn't. It was kind of like the Friday build up to the event. It was like a hang. It was more like a hangout because we only played
Right.
4 rounds. So it's or 3 or 4. Yeah, there was only 4 rounds. It was very casual. It was more like I don't know, going to like an FNM or something. It wasn't really a tournament. You know?
That's sweet. That's sweet though, right? So like
Yeah,
everyone was probably more invested in the
hanging out.
Altitude Alliance's event the next day, and
Yeah,
like it was just a cool thing. You like slam together and like have some fun jamming games, and like
yeah.
still have time to hang out, and
So I mean, that's what I
sure.
was there for. I don't know. I had my deck, whatever.
Yeah.
I was just talking to people and stuff, and that's it. Um, so that was cool. I don't think anything else needs to be said about that. Um, the the following day, and obviously hangs afterwards, was cool. The following day was at Yazoo Brewery, Yahzoo Brewery, which I do have to shout them out because they did a great job. They've been hosting the Music City Old School events for a while, and they don't charge them anything. I think
That
I
is
think
that mean that you know what that means, Andy? That means they sell a shitload of beer when those guys
yeah,
play
yeah,
there.
and yeah, I think
Props.
but they're very nice over there, and I think some of the staff might be into magic or whatever. I don't know them personally, but that's what Casey was telling me. Really nice place, very open, a lot of space, and they kind of.
Real time correction though. It's just Yazoo.
Oh,
Not
is
there's
it
no
okay?
H in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I misspelled it then.
I'm just checking out their beers real quick.
Yeah, and yeah, it was a nice place. And then we went out there, and that's the real event. I mean, I
They
don't
have a
think
beer named Stew. That's pretty cool.
they have a what? They have a beer list too.
Well, they have a beer named Sue.
Mm.
Do you get that reference or no?
No, I
We'll
don't.
just move on. Okay, all
That
right,
one was
that's
over
fine.
my head.
Okay, sure.
Do we need to talk about like who won? No, classic. No, right?
Um,
No. I did.
do we need to talk?
I did play Will. We drove all that way just to play each other second round, as one does at any Magic event that you're traveling to. You drive or fly all the way there only to play somebody who's local. So
I don't think we need to talk about who won, but I will say, given the size of the card pool, like the winner, whose name was just Dan, what I'm looking at, he played a mono-ish blacklist. Like the only thing he splashed for in the main deck was Ancestral and Time Walk. And he had a couple like Blue Blast and Hydro Blast on the sideboard. But it's very pre-moderate looking kind of deck. He had 4 Nantuko Shade, 4 Phyrexian Negator, 2 Withered Wretch, 2 Masticore, 4 Hypnotic Spectre, 3 Null Rod.
ooh,
Ouch.
Phyrexian Negator. Is that the one that's 5/5? And whenever you do a damage to it, you have to sack a permanent.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that card.
He's 1 damage dealt to it.
That card is so good.
Yeah, and then the rest is like just very stocky black pre-modern slash old school cards. He's got 4 Dark Ritual, 4 Duress, 4 Him, 2 Snuff Out, which I love Snuff Out so much. 6 Swamps, a Demonic Consultation, Demonic Tutor, 4 Wasteland, a Strip Mine, 3 Bloodstained Mire, 4 Polluted Delta, 4 Underground Sea, and then, as I mentioned before, he's got a Time Walk, an Ancestral, a Mox Jet, and a Black Lotus. So this is a very streamlined deck. This guy knew exactly what he was trying to do, and he went in there and he took this event down.
Speaking of black, I did play. I think my last round, I played against a Thrall deck. So you play the interesting decks if you don't do well.
Really?
Yeah, and he was rocking a Thralls. I was like, this is awesome. I had a huge misplay, and he had me at like 2 or 1, and I was all in defensive mode trying to live and survive. And I had the Overlord, and I was kind of like looking for slivers to kind of not die, and I didn't realize that I can just look for a sliver to give all my creatures flying and kill him. But so I misplayed there, but it was fun. And he was later on. I found out he was playing the full thrall. Like he was Ebon Praetor. He
Oh
ended
wow,
up yeah he had
Praetor! Holy shit! I gotta find this list.
he had two. At one point, he had two thrall champions out. One of which he soul exchanged, so it was something like 5/5 or 6/6 or something. It was
Okay.
huge, but that was a lot of fun. But
Um,
other than that, I can't really tell you much about the winning decks
I
or the
will say,
metagame.
I will say props on that because just scrolling through these, which I did earlier, like the number two deck is Grow a Tog, for Force of Will, and he's just growing a Tog and playing
Yeah, and
what's that
that's
Quirion Dryad, which you could that's the whole point of Grow a Tog deck. You just make a Quirion Dryad as big as humanly possible. Like most of these top decks in this event were running four Force of Will, four Brainstorm, four Duress. So it
yeah.
was super cool that like the mono black deck got in there. Like
Well, he was
last
doing as
four
bad
Force of
as
Will.
oh, you talking about you the one that you mentioned earlier? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The
Like
thrall deck I played was not doing well, but it was
no,
fun.
no, no. I can't imagine it was. No, I'm just kind of scrolling down through like the top eight here, and like we finally get to a slide deck in seventh place, and also in eighth place. So they had some game in the room, but it seemed like the decks that were running, four Force of Will and four Brainstorm
Yeah,
did pretty well.
and I knew that coming in, so yeah.
Yeah. He issued like there was a guy in tenth that played mono black, and he actually slammed a copy of Yogg's Will in there, which is you love to see it if you could actually play it. He also Andy, to your taste, he had one Miser's copy of Hellfire in this deck, which is super sweet.
Nice, nice.
Um, Apart from that, someone else utilized illusionary mask down in 12th here, but he was on some dreadnought, also four force of will, three brainstorm, played ancestral, some birds paradise. So he was trying to do. Oh, and he was playing he was playing survival, so it was just brutal. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah,
I
it's tough. It's tough to go over these lists as an old school player because like I don't know what a bunch of these cards do or are, but I kind of get the gist of the list by looking at them. But like
yeah.
these decks look really sweet, and these guys obviously really care about and put a lot of thought into these lists, which is awesome. But like Jesus Christ, like so many Force of Wills, like amazing.
So
But
many.
like it's still one of the best counter spells
Does
ever
this
printed.
does this resolve? Does this resolve? Does it
Yeah,
resolve?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
You didn't.
annoying.
Yeah, you didn't go yet, but like, does this resolve?
Yeah, does this resolve? I played Root Sliver, which is one green, three colors, 2/2. Can't be countered. Sliver spells can't be countered.
Okay,
So I was like, Root Sliver, and I'll play this Sliver. Then I didn't have to ask at least, but
right.
but it was
But,
fun.
but but then they would just kill the sliver, right?
I mean, it's four casting hosts, so they're probably going off before I even cast it. Like,
Yeah,
so what the
right.
hell's the point?
So
So,
so so
I mean,
oh, so,
the best sliver is probably Crystalline Sliver, which is it gives everything hexproof, or
yeah.
which is
I think
so
Ty
good.
Ty might agree with that. That's like one question I at least asked about this. So like, how did these games go for you? Like, not necessarily like turn for turn, like whatever. Like, were they all like pretty rapid?
Yeah, they were pretty fast. It was no, I mean, I kid a little bit, but I mean, you can have broken starts and like turn two or whatever wins, but they were okay. They were fine. Um,
Oh, I forgot. Mana. This is like actual type. Mana drain still
it's
unrestricted in
unrestricted,
this, right?
which I don't think I saw a lot of mana drain. It's like
I
almost
think
too slow.
I think I got. Yeah, it is too slow with four force of will, right? You just force of will mana drain, like
Yeah,
get screwed. Yeah, I think the first deck found four mana drain in his 21st place.
yeah.
Uh, but cool. Well, anyway, it was supposed to
Anyway,
just be casual and
that's
fun,
yeah,
and
whatever.
yeah.
It was something to do. The so that was Friday. So Saturday we're at Yazoo Brewery, and that's kind of more my speed. Alpha to Alliances, even though I haven't played it. I know we played Alpha Alliances ante, but as soon as you get rid of that ante, it's like you could use power, you can use all this stuff. I mean, I guess you can use it in ante too if you're an animal, but
So, like, spoiler alert, Andy and I want to segue into the actual anti aspect of playing Alpha 2 alliances and looking at these decks from the actual like Alpha 2 alliances. These are probably not decks you would play anti in unless you're a total savage and you're like those anti 40k people that don't mind losing like tons of money while playing Magic.
yeah. I
But
mean, just like classic. Josh sent me a bunch of links for previous events on Alpha to Alliances because they've been doing some events in the past already. So I got it. I looked it over, and there was a lot of aggro in the lists for previous years. So I was expecting a lot of creatures, and I think that speaks to the format a little bit because this year it was not aggro at all.
Casey did mention that in his tournament report. He says he said like the previous year was very aggro oriented, and he said this
Yeah,
year was very combo-y, which is cool. Like I always like to see more technical decks doing stuff because it's swinging with dudes. Like it's cool,
yeah.
but having synergy and understanding interactions and playing a more technical deck, that's something that appeals to me. So it's really cool to see like a whole group of people like all wanting to be more on that thing than just like swinging with dudes.
Yeah, I was locked into what I decided to play Joggle Hops, and I was locked into Hops before I went. So when I got to our Airbnb, I was talking to Alan Finney, one of the um, Nashville guys, and he was playing a Goblins deck that combos out with what's the name of that card? Food Chain. And so it's mostly red, but it has this green card Food Chain enchantment, which kind of lets you could sack creatures to get more mana. I believe
It
it's
is a
the
it is
mana.
a green 2 enchantment.
Yeah, and you sack any creature and it gives you mana +1 of any color, I believe, and you exile, if I'm not mistaken.
Add X mana of any color where X is the removed creature is converted mana cost +1.
Right.
But
So
it can only be used to play creature spells.
right. So, and I'm not going to get into the technical, and we're not here to critique deck techs on too many of these cards because we just don't have the experience. But Alan did walk me through the combo, and it's there is a card where there is I think it's a goblin card that kind of lets you stack your deck in terms of whatever order you want, and he kind of cycles into an enormous amount of goblins and enormous amount of damage, and that's kind of the way he wins. But it's also a goblin deck, which on its own
It's very
wins
old
wins
school and very
games.
sweet.
It just
Yeah.
wins games because it's just a lot of pressure. So he was on that. He told me about, and I guess we can get into it. He was talking to someone else about his combo deck with what's the name of that blue card? Hold on.
Did he have the Thought Lash
Yeah,
list?
The Thought Lash list.
Okay.
So that's kind of his baby. And Thought Lash is from Ice Age or Alliances. I don't remember. It's
I
from one of
believe it was
those. It's an enchantment that kind of lets you prevent 1 point of damage for 0 activation by exiling the top card of your deck.
All right. Well, someone will actually provide actual context here. So, Thought Lash is a 2 blue 2 enchantment. It is from Alliances. It has cumulative upkeep of remove the top card of your library from the game. if you do not remove your library from the game and bury Thought Lash. And for 0 activation, you could remove the top card of your library to prevent 1 damage to you. So basically, he was playing with Field of Dreams, so he could basically draw whatever he wants.
Yeah, if he doesn't
Uh,
like the top card, he just exiles it. So
but
he,
the cumulative upkeep is remove the top card of the game. So you are on your own clock here while doing that.
yeah, and Alan's the one to kind of brew a lot of these decks. So he kind of sculpts his hand to whatever he needs to win, and usually that's power monolith kind of combo to either fireball his opponent or brain geyser him to death.
I
So that
believe that. Well, yeah. He was using Power Monolith. He's a.
yeah, and he's got
I mean,
transmutes and forces and brainstorms and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. So that was kind of another combo deck that was out there. But I didn't expect that many combo decks. I did expect blue because I didn't know that blue has like crazy cards. So you have to be an idiot not to expect force of will. So
we'll get it. The deck in question here, Alan's deck. He plays 7th with this.
yeah, he
Do
did
you
well.
want to take a look at the because honestly,
Let's
we
bring it
we
up.
like talking about spice. We like talking about spice prizes here, but I'll tell you what, the guy who won this event, pretty damn spicy and won the whole
Let me
thing.
actually share because
Sure, yeah. Get it up there.
yeah. So this is Alan's deck here,
Yep.
and like we said, he's got his lands. He's got four. It looks like 4 thought lashes, 4 basalt monoliths.
So he wasn't actually playing transmute. So he was playing portents and brainstorms to like better sculpt like how his deck was coming up because that cumulative upkeep of exiling the top card that can catch up with you. So he had to be very very careful about where he was putting what with his card draws, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, and he's been playing this for a little while, so he knows. He actually this was the first Alpha to Alliance's deck I've ever played because when I visited Nashville a few years ago,
Played
he
against.
no I play he lent it to me. He just gave it to
Oh
me.
Christ!
He's like, hey,
that's,
play
that's
this.
that's baptism by fire.
So I learned how to play it on the spot, which is fun, um,
Sure.
and it was cool. So that's what he was running. The You want to
If
talk
you
about this deck here? This is an interesting deck
so
as
so
well.
so so these are this is Casey's match report.
And you can find
So
this at Music City Old School, MusicCityOS.com.
right. So Andy will put it in the show notes because
Yeah.
he loves doing that stuff. But these were one they didn't I think did Alan's deck win the quote unquote Spice Prize? They weren't really clear about who won the actual like Spice Prize. So
No,
it's not.
actually, so the person who won the Spice Prize was John Nur,
Oh yeah.
who's
So
one of
yes.
my roommates for the event,
Okay.
and yeah, his deck was cool too. Where is it? Where is that? Let's see.
So um, yeah.
I don't.
See, this is why
This is it right here, right?
yeah. So if this is the one with the Nature's Chosen, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's if you hold, let me help you out here,
Do you
Andy.
have do you have a better
Like,
picture?
well, yeah, you can get it up on your screen. Scroll up a little bit.
Mhm.
Great content. We're just
There.
killing here. There you go. Yeah, click on the classic decks. And this is them in order, and then you can scroll down to John's deck. You'll find it.
Oh, here it is. So he came in third too. Wait, no, this is not. This
No,
is
yeah. That's classic. My fault. There is a link for Alpha Alliances as well. Just hit back on your browser. It's not on the same page.
I don't know where.
No,
Here,
no, no.
here
It's
it
okay.
is.
There you
Here it
go.
is. Here it is. Okay.
Don't
Now
get
we're now we're
don't get discouraged. Then you can click on them, Andy, and it'll blow them up.
okay. So here's John Nur's deck.
Yeah, so
And
he basically called this vault key after like voltaic key. So basically, what he's trying to do here is he's got a playset of repentant blacksmiths and wall of light. So he's trying to slam a Nature's Chosen, which is a an enchantment from alliances, which allows you to tap a creature to tap or untap. I think was it artifact, creature, or land maybe. So he's basically just trying to use the one of these protection creatures like red or black to just keep untapping Time Vault, which is pretty precarious because Time Vault is indeed restricted in this format. So he's got the full play set of transmutes there to try and scare it up.
yeah,
But
this
that's
works because it doesn't have that time counter thing like it did
right.
for
For
So
classic, yeah, yeah. This in this format, Time Vault works the way as we know it does with Twiddle and such and such.
so this was really cool,
Yeah,
and he won the Spice Prize for it, which was awesome.
but he
And
also he like again getting back to these like the spicy like aspects of this deck. Like he came in what fifth? Like no, not fifth.
fifth, I think.
Hops. No, Hops. He came in eighth.
Okay, top
So
eight.
this is a very spicy ass combo deck, and he came in eighth here. So the deck we were talking about previously, if Andy scrolls up a little bit, that was Alan's deck with the Thought Lash Field of Dreams. Um, moving up further, like again, geez, let's talk about spice here. Do you have this rolled up? Uh, on the page you were on before, Andy. Not that one. The one below it. Yeah, click on fifth place.
Oh, hops.
Yeah, Mr. Pratt here is on Hops Land Equilibrium. Uh, what a sweet pile.
Yeah, this is cool. Land Equilibrium. What is his win con? Oh, Black Vice, I guess.
Black Vice, which is always tough with Hops, but I guess when he could basically stack his deck, which is funny because he actually has an altered, or I guess he doesn't have a fourth copy of Limdu's Vault, so he has the one that's altered here, just says stack your deck on.
Nice.
um, but Hops gets a little bit easier to play out with when you have a full set of Moxen that you just hold in your hand.
Yeah,
Um,
these guys are experienced. They know the cards. They're trying to do broken things. I was there to play fair-ish Magic.
and what if
And
what if
and
what
by
if
fair, I mean Jockey Hops with a Rock Egg in play. You know, that's
yeah. He's trying to swing with a 4/4. This guy's got 4 Hops, 4 Land Equilibrium.
yeah.
Super dope. That kind of speaks for itself. Like 4 Mana Vaults, 1 Mana Crypt, all the rocks, 4 Black Vice.
Power, Force of
Four,
Will, Abyss.
yeah, three main deck Abyss.
Yeah, this
Three.
is.
Full play set of Limdual's Vault. 1 Stormbind, just as a finisher.
So you see how like the meta just changed. Last year it was all aggro. Now it's all combo. So it's nice to see in a format. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we just got done making fun of everyone's decks at YetiCon that won the event, and then we look at these and like the actual top 8 looks like the Spice top 8.
Right. So
So what was the
we
these
haven't
just
seen.
they get like better and better. What was the fourth place deck? If you scroll up, Andy,
Oh, it looks like just kind of a green black. I mean green blue.
blue, yeah, Berserk deck.
Berserk. Just kind of like an aggro. I'm assuming
Yeah,
there's
it was
4
just
of each here. Uh,
I guess we're assuming that. Yeah, whoever
It looks
snuck
like
into
it looks like
Riz.
just a bunch of power. Yeah, I don't know. This is a very strange way to take a deck pick.
Yeah, he just like stacked all the cards that were the same cards, so you don't know
It
how
looks like
many
he had.
each
I
there
have
were.
to assume he plays 4 Flying Men, 4 Sea Sprites, 4 Screw Sprites, 4 Serendibs, and maybe 4 birds, maybe 1 bird. I don't know. But he plays Giant Crows, which I'm assuming it's a 4 of, Unstables 4 of, and kind of Berserks. I mean, probably 4 of. This is like Vince
I think
stock deck.
I feel like this guy must have been doing this. He must have come for the classic event or something because like the only card that's out of the old school card pool here, I think, is Sea Sprite.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he has Ice Age basics, but the entire deck it's just like an old school Berserk deck. Which hey, listen,
This is a
I
nice
don't begrudge you of
This is a
that.
nice Scryings deck.
Absolutely. Although, yeah, it's an Italian Scryings deck. It has 1 Scryings card in it.
Yeah.
And then moving up to number 3. See now we have something that's like looks like what you might see at a.
Oh, this one I can't. I can't.
Yeah, this is another mess of a deck photo. You really can't see what's going on here, but it's just counter burn, counter burn.
All right, moving on.
Counter burn with Gorilla Shamans and a couple Force of Wills.
This is second place Casey.
Okay.
And
Yeah, but Casey went full on combo here with Necro. He's got the
pretty
drain life.
ridiculous.
He's trying to win with
Mirror
he's
Universe,
basically trying to win
Dream Life.
with Mirror Universe, yeah. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of got like the Lich kind of lilt to it. 4 Portents, 4 Force of Wills, duh. He's got 3 Ivory Tower. Zern Orb was restricted for this, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe.
3 Limb Duels Vaults, 3 Drain Lives, a couple Contagions, Merchant Scroll,
sorry.
probably to summon up a Drain Life, I'd imagine.
Let's see. No, is Zernog restricted? It might not be.
Really? If it's not restricted, there is an incredible dearth of Zern Orbs in these lists for it not being restricted. That's pretty wild.
I don't see it on the restricted list.
Really?
Yeah.
So these guys really aren't trying to dirtle at all then. Like yeah, if we're looking at top 8, holy shit, is that the only Zern Orb in all of these lists? I think it is.
Maybe. I feel like you should at least have 1 Zerg Orb in the sideboard. But all right, I don't know. But he did well. He came in second. This is an incredibly fast kind of one track, very laser focused deck here.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is the type of deck that you need 4 Dark Rituals for.
My question for Casey was he casting Portent on himself or his opponent? My guess would be his opponent.
No, what? No,
What?
Why would he cast it on his opponent?
It's the thing they do in pre-modern.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows? I like his little proxy for the Chaos Orb. He's got one of the.
Yeah. He's got like the Chaos Orb
one
like
of
9 card thing, and like he has just like the top middle part where you could actually see like the Chaos Orb's like eyes and mouth. Pretty cool.
Let's talk about this. My boy Will bringing the trophy home.
Look at this glorious pile. This guy won with this list. Oh my God. This is a thing of beauty, Andy.
So good. I'm going to let you, because I have a sore throat. I have a sore throat and you're faster than I am. You can go over the cards in his
I'll
deck.
just rip the list off. Okay, so yeah, our winner here on this exquisite pile, Will Kirkwood, who's of Andy's locale, correct?
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. So Will's on Eureka. His main deck consists of 4 Clone, 4 Trike, 4 Mohammedi Jinn, 4 Deep Spawn, 2 Polar Kraken. You'll love to see it.
Chef's
Ancestral
kiss.
Time Walk, Time Twister, one demonic consultation, one demonic tutor, one black lotus, one mana crypt. I guess mana crypt was also restricted for this because I've only seen one of them in
Yeah.
lists. Four force will, four Eureka, four Tinderwall, ostensibly to get those Eurekas out as fast as possible. One Mana Vault, one Soul Ring, one Library of Alexandria, four City of Brass, four Bayou, four Tropical Island, four Havenwood Battleground, Mox Jet, a Mox Sapphire, a Mox Emerald, a Mind Twist, and Regrowth. And his sideboard is a Mirror Universe, a Brain Geyser, four Control Magic, two Energy Flux, one In the Eyes of Chaos, which this is not the first pile I've seen In the Eyes of Chaos in either. Does anyone ever actually bring that in for anything? One Concordant Crossroads, two Drop of Honey, one If Biff Efreet, and two Sylvan Libraries.
Yeah, this is... Will was on a tear in the tournament. All I remember is like him coming up to me like every round. I was like, "How'd you do?" He's like, "I won 2-0. 2-0." So he would, yeah. It's just Eureka and huge dudes. I mean, all you need to, the Polar Kraken, you keep it up, he's just sack a land. All you need to do is hit once.
Up to that time, the largest creature in Old School, correct? Or the oldest creature in Magic, or the largest creature in Magic, I should say, right?
Yeah. And most of these creatures are blue. He can toss them to Force of Will, make sure his Eureka gets through.
Right.
So, yeah, he was pounding face all weekend, and well, not all weekend, on Saturday, and props to him.
This is a super cool list.
I think he only lost one. I think he only lost one game, and that was against Casey in the finals. So it's
yeah,
good to see.
I could see this getting potentially blown out by Necro. Variants, but also just like the speed of that deck can also be absurd. But like this is how you win. This is how you win an event right here, people. This is like style points. Like
The other thing is like, do you cast Eureka, and then your opponent goes, "All right, Necro, all right, Zernorb, all right," like,
right,
because then you have to wait a turn.
Yeah.
Unless you have Concordant, you have to wait a
Right.
turn to kill, and then you could theoretically cast Eureka, and then your opponent goes off next turn and kills you. So it's
Right.
there's that
Right.
interplay. There's that tension there. So I'm
Right.
sure he
Yeah,
had to ask himself, "Is this really worth it?"
right. Well, yeah, sure. Because like during Eureka, you can't interact with what cards are being put into play. So your
Right.
Force of Wills are now null and void, and that's now in play. And he has literally no way to deal with enchantments.
So unless you have a Concordant Crossroads in play or a Resolved Time Walk,
Right.
you're asking yourself, yeah, this is a
Right.
tough decision.
Which is interesting. Like he only opted for one concordant in the sideboard. So
Yeah.
I guess he figured his game one plan was strong enough that like he's probably going to be okay, which obviously he was. So good call, Will. But yeah, he has no way to deal with enchantments.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
No. Yeah, there's it seems kind of similar throughout these things. Like these, I guess it's kind of true with combo, right? Like you're
Playing your own
just
game.
trying. Yeah. You don't care what your opponent's doing. Um, super cool. Like this, honestly, this is one of the coolest top eights I think I've ever seen.
The event was 6 rounds, I believe. I think I'm gonna stop this. The event was 6 rounds. Raised over $3,000 in charity.
3,700
Is it 30? Okay, 3,700.
for the Magic apropos named Mana Food Pantry, I think it was.
Yeah,
I
which is
guess
great.
the Appalachia got rocked by a hurricane, so they were doing their best to help people out that got you know washed out.
So that was awesome. There was a lot of stuff in the raffle. A lot of altars. Shaman Ben was there. He contributed a lot of altar cards that I saw, and somebody had brought in some like old records. Just a lot of people, contributed to to the raffle. So it was good. It was good turnout, good food, good people's, good hangs. I don't think I would have changed anything, except maybe
It wasn't really your place to change anything, that wasn't Andy.
no. I would have liked to play. I would have liked to cube or played some more Alpha Alliances ante though.
So yeah, like how
Yeah,
much were people jamming games of Ante since like this is like their baby? I mean,
I
was there a lot of that going on or
not much, not much.
really?
Yeah, no, it was a lot of during the tournament, whatever, and afterwards, just really hanging out. There were a couple people playing, but not that much. Got a
So
lot.
on your
Excuse me. What was that?
on your travels though, Andy, you were able to grab some interviews with some of the not only Casey but a
Yeah,
couple
I
other
talked to
players. So
some people, and we'll put it in the podcast.
we'll cut those into the pod.
Subscribe to the podcast to get the full audio and bonus features. But I think that was great, and what else can I say? That was it was a nice tournament. It was a good experience. It was close. It was at the end of the year. It was a nice way to end the year. I don't have any other tournaments planned, so yeah. The shout out to all the Music City Old School guys that did all the work for putting it up. They did an amazing job, and I look forward to working with them in the future to maybe set up something in Chattanooga or Nashville. I'm going to name it the Southeast Regional Championship for for no reason other than to
Southeast Regional Championship.
yeah, other than to
That sounds very
official.
very official.
Yeah, to get people down here so they can hang out.
Well, these
But
guys seem like an absolute good time and a blast. So while I'm incredibly disappointed to have missed it, I am way too stupid to be playing decks of this technical ilk, and I might have done worse than Andy, which is embarrassing because he did really terribly.
actually, there should be an asterisk on my name for the Alpha Alliances because I actually won more matches that was there. There was a missed victory that was input into the computer incorrectly, and
Well,
we didn't notice it until 2 rounds later. And I'm like, Casey, you put me as I lost, but I actually won it. I went up with my
well,
opponent.
we did spend all this time talking about the good decks, Andy. Let's maybe just because you played the event, let's scroll down to 29th place and like take a look at yours, and we'll just let's speak on it for a moment. I'm gonna let you bring that up, and you give me your theory crafting. I'm gonna use the loo real quick.
Oh,
But you
nice.
go ahead. BRB. I'll mute
Yeah,
my mic so you can't hear my P stream.
yeah. So, oh my goodness. So, I play Jockle Hops like I mentioned before. I did win more matches that are reported on the website, but it was a lot of fun. Let me pull up my deck list and see. Nothing that's I'm not reinventing the wheel here, but Jockle Hops I've played before. I had all the cards, so I figured why not. Let's see. Mm. So it was basically red green. It played three Jockle Hops, Ruck Eggs. It played Falling Star. It played Shivan Dragon, Pyrokinesis, Stormbind. A bunch of the restricted cards. I played main deck Dervish times two Tinderwalls, two Orcish Lumberjacks, some Shatters. City in a Bottle, Chaos Orb, and Mana Vault. So I was basically just trying. My acceleration was 2 Mana Vaults, Lumberjacks, and Tinderwalls, and Jogglehops. And I had good time. I didn't really Jogglehops that much. I did Jogglehops, I believe, twice in one game versus Josh Bergo, which was cool. But it still ended up getting trashed. But I managed to win a couple games, and that was fun. So Diamond Valley was in my deck as well, which I think is great. There's really not much to say. I really play kind of like a stockish red-green Jogglehops deck. Nothing new or amazing.
I'm gonna say the problem here is you kind of went at this with kind of an old school kind of mentality, and my guess is that this deck was ponderously slow, and you were never able to do anything.
It was a little slow. Not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, I mean, compared to these other lists, which are just like absolutely cooking.
Yeah, it wasn't. It was slow. I'll give you that.
I love the deck pick though. It's a 10 out of 10 deck pick.
It's like I said, I'm not reinventing the wheel. Just standard, whatever. I did have an interesting match versus one player, and I will tell you. I don't want to. Let me see if I can find him on the deck list. Okay, so his JC. Oh yeah, JC. He's from Pittsburgh. He came down for the tournament, and I think I want to put this. I'm going to share the picture for people.
Where did he come in, Andy?
Oh, he came in last. Oh, for some reason, I can't share. It's not letting me share now, but
you can't.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Here, I'll do it.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Oh, you got it.
Yeah.
Well, let me take mine off. Shit.
So
cancel.
This deck is called Story Time.
Oh, sure. Well,
4 Shahrazads, 2 forks, in a pink weenie kind of shell. But
I saw this one immediately because, like, obviously the upper left hand corner, like 3 copies of Blazing Effigy grabbed my eye immediately.
Yeah. So that was very interesting. I played 5. We went deep. We played 5 games of Magic, and just finished our first game.
We played. He was Shahrazading.
He Shahrazad 4 times in one game. So we went 4 sub games deep. And
so you only played one actual game.
No, only one actual game, right? So it's funny because initially I think he asked me, "Do you have enough room on your table?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." But
I did see this photo. Do you have this photo, Andy, that you can bring up? Like you had all like the little instead, like when who was it? Fluffy did this at NoobCon. Like he would have he would just put a playmat. He brought all the playmats to put on top of the current game. That way you could play the game on a whole playmat. And he just had all these like little like micro games.
Yeah, it was, and to each other. I think I haven't played against Shahrazad since EC Players Ball, like I don't know, 7 years ago or something. And I forgot. You need your deck, you need your graveyard, you need your hand, and you need the cards in play and how they're tapped.
You don't need your graveyard, right? You leave your graveyard in the previous game, correct?
Oh, correct. Sorry. So you just need your deck, your hand, and the cards in play, but you also need to remember if they're tapped or not. Sorry. So
that's why Fluffy brought all the play. He literally brought 14 playmats or whatever it was. So you just like basically pick your stack up, move it, put a playmat on top of the current game, and then start playing the new game. And then if they cast another Charizard, you just put another playmat on top of it after you move your deck out of the way. But Andy just had like these little Piles.
That's how to, yeah, that's, I mean, that's how you do it. You do it. The play mod thing is how you do it. And I don't know if I have that picture of me. I did take a long picture of like all these different stacks.
If you can't find it now, definitely put it on the website of the show
Yeah.
notes because it is a funny thing to see.
Yeah.
It's like Sim City magic.
It's ridiculous. So yeah, it's horrible. So I didn't know. I think that's why he asked me before we started playing.
Right.
And yeah, it was something else. Like it get to the point where when we were into the fifth game, we were inceptioning into like the fifth game.
Right.
The size of our decks were so
You're
so
like 14
low.
cards left.
Yeah, it was so low that I pretty much knew every card I had left in the deck. Like you know what you have left.
Right.
And so I drew my hand. I drew my hand, and I drew two strip mines, right? But no colored mana. And I thought to myself, I was like, wait a second, this might be a good keep. Even though he plays land tax, this might be a good keep because,
Right.
geez, how many lands can he possibly have left in his deck? And I haven't drawn a
Right.
strip mine the entire game, so I know I have
Right.
4 strip mines in my deck. So I was said keep, and he's like, plains land tax, and I was like, all right, well strip that. And then he goes, all right, and then I play another land, like a regular land, and he goes to tax, and he's like, all right, fail to find. And I was like, yes,
Fail to find.
yeah. So then I think
That
he
is.
and he didn't have anything, and I had all these strips, and yeah, that was funny.
You've given me shit for using those Ed Beard Jr. Rook tokens
I
before.
know,
So
I
did you
know.
borrow those?
No, they're mine, but
Oh.
I couldn't find the other printing I have with the Dan Frazier art.
Yeah, I don't like that one.
I like that one. That's from
It's
the
fine. It's
video
fine.
game.
It has to be centered. Chandelar? This is where it's at, right
No,
here.
no, no, no. That's
Yeah.
whatever. But excuse me. So there's our pick of the game. It was a pretty cool game.
That's super sweet.
But,
Can you go back to the I just want to give a quick shout out to just one of the absolute stalwarts of old school, but like Shaman Ben's deck pick in 28th. He was on Pox.
Oh, 28th. Let me see.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, it was good to see. It was good to see Ben. I hadn't seen him in a while. So he was out there, and it was good to hang out with him and stuff.
Ben was on Pox, and he
uh,
his deck is typically
where is
com-
this thing?
it's,
Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, okay.
yeah, you got it
Let
up.
me share. So
Yeah.
as per his usual, there's going to be a lot of altars on this, but
A lot of yeah. Look at this thing. The thing I like about this is like you can still mostly tell what these cards are, even though they're altered. But we and the sisters have been very recently talking a lot about classic video games, and I will say, Shaman Ben's Super Nintendo
oh, I'm just
Mox
noticing that now.
and yeah, the Mox Jet and Lotus down here are absolutely gas. I might have to send him a message and be like, dude, how do I get me a set of these bad boys? They're like SNES boxes. For those of you who can't see them, with like 16-bit digitized copies of like Mox Jet and Black Lotus on them. And
Yeah.
I'm sure he has a full set of these, and they are so sweet.
Yeah, he'll probably send you the picture.
Yeah, that is like absolute gas. Also, props for playing Pox. Pox is dope.
At least for the player playing it.
Yeah. Yeah. For everybody else, it sucks.
So that was kind of my one story, but that was a lot of fun.
So, to use your own parlance, Andy, did you have fun? Because if you had fun, then you won.
I won. I was a winner with the worst record.
despite
over,
losing
over the
miserably.
weekend. I did not come in last.
No. You didn't do great though, but good times, good games, good hangs.
Yeah, awesome.
A little shocked to hear there wasn't more Alpha Two Alliance's ante going on, as that's what we were trying to segue into for our second bit here. But
All right.
we could talk about it regardless, even though these chumps weren't playing it.
Yeah, we will discuss Alpha Alliance's next episode.
Right.
Alpha to Alliance's ante it has been around for a while, right? It's been around for
I think maybe that's what I was thinking of. Maybe that's what started in 2021. So and like it was kind of a small thing. I think it was started by these guys, and it's been like slowly picking up steam. But it's been much like a weed invading old school groups around the country because it's not like what the Europeans and some of our more insane Americans do, playing anti 40K, where you're playing with just Swedish BNR cards and $4,000 deck. You could play this way more inexpensively and still have as much fun and still lose some cards to your friends and draw dicks on them or whatever it is you're gonna do. And it's a lot of fun, and it seems like it's been picking up ahead of steam finally out here on the East Coast. So it's something that Andy and I wanted to talk about.
How many of the guys have played? Are they making decks out there or?
There's a few of us that are trying to push this. I feel like these guys don't like losing stuff, which is weird because like you don't have to spend a lot of money but I feel like there's this reticence to lose anything. But increasingly people are, it's like more and more like a couple of guys like the thing is like when people realize this is what other people are doing, like in between matches or like after games, then like you're almost like, well, shit, I have to build the deck now because like this is what everyone else is doing, and it's there's nothing deleterious about it. You're probably losing like basic lands or like 5 or 10 cent cards, which is great, and like you could put, fancy cards in there. The decks are supposed to be 100 USD, give or take. Like I know the Eban guys said like you build a deck for $20, and like that's probably fine. But it is a very interesting and curious format because it's still very much in its infancy. So I don't feel like I've seen a lot of different deck archetypes yet. So I think that's a thing that like Andy and I wanted to explore is maybe some different things you could do with that other than just like slam black vices and angst and bolts and play Atog like you would in a
shout out to Simon Christie.
Yeah. Shout out to Simon who fully blew my ass apart in the 2 games we played at YetiCon. I actually wrote on what did I lose to him? I can't remember the first card I lost to him, but I literally wrote every card he played down on the card because that's how few cards it took him to beat me in that particular game.
The whole game is like
the whole game.
It's like written down. I think
I played Noah Shanning a bit, and he was on like Necropotence, like red black Sedge Troll that deck, which was cool. And I actually won a card from him, which like and I was playing coin flip deck with like Majajins and Winter Sky, and the deck wasn't good, but like sometimes it just blows your face apart. But I feel like the decks I played so far are quite spiky. So I feel like there probably is a little bit more of a I don't know, a healthy medium, or just like try something different. And I think the fear is like people, you're gonna play a deck that's an unknown quantity, and you're gonna lose some cards that are worth something. But the truth of the matter is like most of these cards worth nothing. I think when Andy and I first started talking about this, we both bought like 800 cards.
Oh yeah, it was ridiculous. It was
just to build it.
Yeah.
It's like
I
Maybe it sounds like like money to burn, but like we're all adults here with like our lives sorted out. So you could drop a couple hundred cards on like a stack of cards like this big to burn up in
yeah,
this
I
silly
haven't
format. It just is like fun.
I haven't gotten TCG or mail orders in a long time, in years, and I came back and all of a sudden I'm getting 10 envelopes a day from like all this thing, and it's funny because one of the people that work at the administrative offices where I live, he plays Magic, and he's like, "Hey, you got some Magic cards there?" Because he knew I ordered from TCG. I was like, "Yeah, man," and I was like, "Hey, they're all like 25 cents, so don't try anything funny."
Right.
But yeah, no. The way I look at it is, you're bringing a card for the autograph pile, right? The donation card. That's how. Excuse me. That's how I look at it. The card that I lose is just it's even less than a card that I would donate to the.
It should be. Yeah. You're
Right.
gonna do a legit old school
So
event. You want to bring something
so
like
so I don't feel bad about losing a card, even if it's worth, I don't know, five, ten
$5.
dollars or $10. I don't know how. I mean, how I don't go crazy with these decks, but to people who are like afraid to lose cards, if you look at it that way, and a lot of the people from New York, New Jersey, they're signing cards all the time. Like they're all about like, oh, we got four people.
Yeah.
Let's put a community card. Community card, four people. Everybody sign it.
Almost to the point where it's sacrilege.
Yeah, it's like, guys, if you do it all the time, it loses its meaning. You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
don't do it all the time. So
I mean, the other cool thing is like, maybe some people lose this, and I've seen some people playing like sleeved, like just to grab a stack of like old, just grab a stack of Magic cards and play them unsleeved. It just feels nice,
yeah,
you know.
yeah,
It's fun.
and it's good. It's good to play. It's good to fun. And the other thing is that I don't see it. This is not a format that you're playing at a tournament. This is just like in between rounds,
Yeah,
kind of quote unquote format,
yeah.
or Friday night hangs format. It's very casual and it's very quick. You get a quick game in. That's it. It's one game. That's it.
I think,
And maybe two if you want to try again. But
yeah. Which I've done multiple times and still lost a lot of cards. I think the first time I played Andy, I wound up losing four
uh,
cards, and that was in 3 games because I cast the contract from below, and
yeah.
then it's still
So
lost.
I think that yeah, I think that I don't know. I like it. I made like it was kind of that new card pool
Feeling, yeah.
feeling. So you have all these thoughts in your head about what new decks to play. And unfortunately, I did not get to play that many games of AAA just because other people were doing other things and stuff. I played a couple,
Sure.
but nothing worth mentioning other than I played against Mono Black Resource Denial, which is a good deck on its own. So
And so much fun. So much fun to play against.
yeah. So the the Alpha Alliance is anti. I mean, you can go to thisolddeck.com and then it's got a nice little kind of rules breakdown and all this stuff for those of you who want to get into it. And they
Shout
have,
out Eric Martin. If you don't listen to this old deck, you should.
and he's had that up for a while,
Yeah.
and he's got the different Cincinnati addendums and Portland addendums and stuff. So
We'll talk about that on EP3, but and yeah, there's some interesting ways to play it. I feel like that might be a little bit of a question as in terms of entry because it does seem like there are people playing different formats. Like my buddy and old school end boss Will Partial, like he has two different decks, like one for the 4 strip version and one for like the 1 strip version, and like the one has like the Ebon Hand guys. They have like the Ebon Mox and all that kind of stuff into play, which like those are like propagating all around the country now. So like I guess that's for like the initiated into that. But you could very much still build these decks like very inexpensively in either style. and it is a lot of fun. It's a different thing to do, and like, I don't know if any, like, I know I personally played for Ante when I was a kid, and like we were a little more graphic about it. We would flip our antes over, and if you anteed a basic, you kept turning your cards over
Until you got
anteed an
something.
actual card. Yeah. So like we wouldn't allow basics as ante. So for me, this is like, oh shit, I'll lose a forest. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna explore that a little bit more. Maybe talk about some fun cards, fun decks, and our experiences thus far in that.
You wanna end it here, or
Do you have anything else
do
you
I
want
have
to talk
anything
about?
else?
Well, we didn't begin with banter, so we can end with it. So, did you finish all your Christmas shopping yet, Andy?
Yes. I mean,
Today,
it's
we're recording December 22nd, so
at 5 p.m.
at 5
Eastern
p.m.
Standard Time.
You're done.
So I
Except you're
better be
not,
done.
because you were trolling the sisters Discord earlier today for a late Christmas present for your son. So if you say yes right now, you're actually lying.
Yeah, but there's no way I'm gonna get it in time. My son wants he likes vintage stuff, so he has been on this Tetris thing, and so
Yeah.
he wants to. I
Oh,
have
he's doing that.
the rolling. I think
Yeah.
that's what it's called. But he tried to, but I have a Super NES kind of emulator thing, and we have Tetris, but he says he can't. The control, he can't do it.
No, you can't.
It's not the
Also,
same.
do you have a CRT TV for him to play it on?
No, we
You
have
need
a
to. You
we have
need.
a flat
You
screen.
can't. Yeah, you can't do it because of the refresh rate. So you're also gonna have to buy him a CRT TV to play on. Otherwise, it doesn't work.
So
You have to find him a nice RCA 32-inch on Facebook Marketplace, bud. I mean, like, lucky for you, it's probably free, but you actually can't do rolling technique on a digital TV. So sorry to break that
oh,
to you.
really? Okay. So
Yeah,
this is definitely not going to happen in time for Christmas. It
yeah,
wasn't going
yeah.
to happen anyway. But
Yeah,
he just
get him the setup.
I'm a,
I watch those videos, dude. Those kids that do that, they're like 9 years old and shit, that are like actually breaking NES Tetris, which is it's absurd, but like it's crazy to see like actual kids doing that,
he
because
wants to he wants
adults
to
can't do it.
he said this is the way you break the world record. So I can't
Right.
do it if I don't have the equipment. So but he just in my defense he just mentioned it a few days ago. So
Okay. Well, it's sad that I'm adult telling you this, that has like literally no vested interest in doing this whatsoever. But the interesting part is like adults, like they're not even in this. It's literally just kids that are like breaking Tetris. Like
right.
there's not it's not adults at all. So it's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're gonna go have to find yourself a nice big tube TV.
Yeah, well in the meantime, he is all about the games. We were playing the game Super Dodgeball. Did you ever play that game?
No, I saw you mention that. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, so
I'll look it up right now real
it's
quick.
a 1988 Super no, it's not even Super Nintendo. It's regular Nintendo
NES, regular
NES
NES.
Super Dodgeball.
Okay.
And
Oh, so this is like River City Ransom. Who made these games?
I don't know, but it does have
Yeah,
that
Image Soft. Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah, so it does have that River City Ransom graphic kind of art.
yeah.
And it is very simple. It's just like two dodgeball teams. But remember playing this as a kid, and it was awesome because each player on the team has like a super, and if you run and throw it,
Okay.
it does different things. Like the ball might flicker, disappear, and then appear right in front of you, or it might go super slow. So it like you have to time the catch, otherwise you take an enormous amount of damage, or it might go through multiple players, or they I think that out of any game I've ever played, I think that deserved a sequel. And I think it did have a sequel, but it was like very different. I never played it, but anyway, I kind of introduced him to that. So he's been playing that, he's been playing the Mario games and stuff, and having a good time.
Have you played Bubble Bobble with your son yet?
Bubble Bobble? I don't think
Bubble
I've
Bobble.
ever played that game.
You never played Bubble Bobble?
I don't think so. Let me
Dude, if you want to talk about an exercise in patience, Bubble
Bubble,
Bobble,
bubble.
dude, dude, Bubble Bobble, level 57. That will teach you teamwork. Level
Oh
57.
no, I've never played this. Oh, you play? You're a
Really?
team. You're a team.
Yeah. So like you're the two dragons. You're trying to catch the enemies in bubbles and then pop them to get to the next level.
What is this
Level,
for? Is this for the Super NES?
no, it's for Nintendo proper.
Bubble Bobble. I gotta look into
Yeah.
this. Oh, they have a PS4 Bubble Bobble 4.
No. Go listen. If you're doing retro stuff, go just do Bubble Bobble because the game is absolutely absurd, and like I think you'll find very very quickly you'll be playing it by yourself. But also you could play the two player is co-op. But level 57, like you can always talk about like I don't know in anything, right? Like what's the I don't know, the mitigating factor that separates us apart from other things. But level 57 in Bubble Bobble, that separates the men from the boys.
Really?
And the game gets progressively harder. That level in particular, it's probably one of the best like NES levels, quote unquote, of anything. If you're gonna do it, I strong recommend on Bubble Bobble. I'll stop gushing
They
about
do.
it
They
now.
do have a part two,
Yeah,
which is
absolutely.
also
But like, no,
for you got to
yeah,
play.
but
You're saying the original.
yeah, you got to go. You got to go OG Bubble Bobble, and I'm sure if anyone actually gets this far into this podcast and listens to this, they will 100% agree with me. Like no questions asked.
You two players control two dragons named Bub, who is green, and
And
Bob, who is blue,
Bob,
and they need to save their girlfriends from a world known as the Cave of Monsters. In each level, Bub and Bob must defeat each enemy present by trapping them in bubbles blown from their mouths and then popping the bubbles. So that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll do it. If it's a co-op game, I think it'll be fun.
yeah. Oh, so it's totally co-op, dude, and like you'll find like you'll talk you like reason out the levels. Like you go get this side and then get the guys in this column or whatever, or like you get like because there's power ups, right? Like where you can shoot the bubbles farther or faster, and like you get that candy and then set up there and then shoot across. Like it's great game.
I feel like you're a little jealous right now that I've never played this and I've yet to experience this.
Not really,
Like the
because like
novelty.
I like, but it never wears off, and also like the music is insanely repetitive, and for some reason will
Oh,
never drive you crazy.
oh my god.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
awesome.
I'll try it out.
Yeah.
I'll try it out. So that's what I've been up to. I know you've been busy, and you finished
Uh,
everything. You set up everything for the New Year's and everything.
well, so my wife and I had a baby. What is it? 12 days ago. So I have a
Nice.
12-day-old infant.
So
So
that's
shout out to Jared Doucette, who also I think just one day ago had a son.
oh
So
really? Oh, okay.
yeah, two
Awesome.
old Jareds having kids at this age. God bless. Although I think I'm older than he is. So
Jared's procreating. Wow.
yeah. Jared's procreating
You gotta
in magic.
gotta call gotta
Um,
gotta get Jared Miller and see what's going on, buddy.
uh, he's got a dog. He's got a fur child, I
Oh,
think.
okay.
So I don't know if that's in their wheelhouse.
But
But yeah, the best part about having an infant is you don't have to do anything.
no, just change the diapers.
No. I mean, in terms of like interaction with like other people, they're like, oh, like my brother-in-law came over the other day, and he's like, hey, if you guys want to come over for Christmas Eve, I'm like, Wayne, we're not going anywhere.
Oh, I see. It's the ultimate excuse.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the excuse to not do anything.
yeah.
Sorry,
It's
sorry.
awesome.
Yeah,
We're very lucky. So nope, we don't have to do anything. I bought some expensive furniture for my wife and I for the house. So like we're very pragmatic. No real presents exchanged. I'm impossible to buy gifts for. Go figure. So we're good.
I heard you got a nice pickup. MTG. There it is.
Alpha
Ace
Celestial Prism, pretty decent.
Alpha
Andy hates Alpha, but this is dope. But this one for me is better. Yet another Alpha card.
LP. What are we looking at,
This
Kish?
this
There's a lot of
this is
glare. There's a lot of glare.
yeah,
You can't.
I know it's impossible to not have glare in here, but this is like a very minty Alpha Resurrection, which like there's something about this card and the artwork with like the Mox kind of Dan Frazier background to it, and like this is something you would literally never see in Magic. Like this card art is so insanely bizarre, but it's also
It's so
good.
weird.
It's also
I
it's also a decent card because you're putting a creature into play. So I
right, and
recently
it's
built a deck with Argivian archaeologists and preachers and witch hunters, and thunder spirits and Sarah angels.
a
So if I need
sorcery.
some,
It's not an enchantment, so
it's
can't be
true,
disenchanted.
but like I can cut down on a creature to play resurrection to get like one of the toolbox type creatures back out of my yard.
Can you
You know.
can you resurrection an Isan shade? Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so yeah, you can do it.
I tried doing that in
Or
Scryings against
or Spirit of the Night. Wait, Spirit of the
and
Night is pro black. Yeah, so that doesn't matter. But Isan shade, yeah.
you could do, yeah, you could. I tried doing that against Ian, dude, and he just pile drive me with that tax tower fucking Zer's weirding deck of his. But like, I feel like I should put it back together because the deck wasn't bad. I was like playing Buried Alives and Spirit of the Night, and Ishan Shade with what's the other Scrying's card bring stuff back? I'm forgetting it right now. White 4.
There's
Miraculous Recovery.
Dance of the Dead.
Miraculous Recovery, Resurrection, and then just like the regular animate effects. And it didn't do anything against his deck, but his deck is miserable, and I hate him and his deck. Ian, if you listen to this, I hate you.
I got a nice. I was talking to my buddy Alan Finney in Nashville, and he was telling me about a deck. He's always brewing something, I think, and he was telling me about a deck
This is the
that
guy with the
uses
Slash
yeah
Field of Dreams deck.
yeah
Okay.
super nice dude.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about a combo with Enduring Renewal, where you would play. Yeah, so the deck works like this. So basically, it's Enduring Renewal, Living. Well, he was saying Living Plane. You can't do that because we were
Enduring Living Plane.
enduring. Well,
No.
we were okay. So so let me start over. So basically,
Yeah.
we were talking about the combo. We're kind of hashing it out. And we came up with, but as he was telling me this combo that I'm going to tell you about, I was like, wait a second. There's a lot of these cards in Scryings. Have you tried it with Scryings? And
Right.
I don't think he plays much Scryings, but.
Well, no one does except us in the tri-state area.
Right. So the combo that we came up with was like Enduring Renewal, Living Lands,
Living Lands.
right?
So,
Concordant Crossroads.
okay.
And the reason you have to play Living Lands instead of Living Plains is because Concordant Crossroads is an enchant world, so you
Correct.
can't have two enchant worlds. So
You can't have them both in play.
right.
Yeah.
So you play Enduring Renewal, Living Lands, Concordant Crossroads, and right there, with the forest, you have infinite mana. Oh, you have to have Fastbound in play. Sorry, you have to have Fastbound in play.
That's.
Wait a
I
second.
don't think that
No,
works.
that doesn't
Yeah,
work. That doesn't work because you have to.
It doesn't work because it doesn't come back from the yard because it's not a creature anymore.
Yeah, you have to destroy it somehow. So what he was saying was that you could do it with
You
strip
just use
mine.
Ornithopter. It's always Ornithopter.
Yeah, sack outlet. I might be making this more complicated
Well,
than it really is.
well,
But.
yeah, but enduring renewal, the creature has to come. It has to be a creature that comes back from your.
Well, with living lands, it is a creature, so it comes back.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but when it goes to the graveyard, it ceases to be a creature.
no,
So you
but
don't get the forest back.
no, I don't think that's how it works. I think the enduring renewal sees it as a creature and brings it back. But anyway, he was saying Judge. This is why we were kind of trying to like. All right, let's see here.
I like your idea, and actually, as I was building black white reanimator deck I was telling you about. I was looking at Enduring Renewal because our own Micah McEwen has tried playing this in Scryings before, and like the combo is always like just Ornithopter, Astronaut Dalter, and Fireball, which is fine, but like it's a lot to set up. So I was trying to think of like better use for Enduring Renewal than just Ornithopter and Fireball, and it's not easy, but I don't think it's that.
Mm.
I think you need a 0 casting cost
Yeah.
creature.
If the creature is only a creature due to an effect, it still goes to your hand. So yeah,
It says that in Oracle.
it has a ruling in the Gatherer. Gatherer rulings say that
Really?
if it so his idea was you can use strip mine and strip all their lands and you keep getting the strip mine back, right? So every turn you can strip mine.
But that's living plane.
Right, that was living plane.
Oh, okay,
So
all
then
right.
he was like, I was like, well, you want to do that in one turn, so you want to give it haste. So can you do like concordant? And then
Concurrent
that's where
cross.
we were running into the issues
Enchant World, yeah,
with the enchant world. So then we
yeah.
were like, oh, maybe you can get, and you can also get. I mean, in Alpha Alliances, you can get infinite. Is there a land that you could sack that gives you infinite, like gives you mana? I mean, the Fallen Empire's land, but they come into play tapped. Um, but
Right, and there's nothing, nothing in that card pool that makes them come into play untapped.
oh yeah, I mean, you could Zern Orb, actually. Yeah. So that there it is. So
Okay, yeah.
you can do it with you can actually do it in Scryings by this. How many
You, you,
cards
you,
do we
you
need for
you
this
always need at
combo?
least 5 cards in play for the
How
combo, is what you're saying.
how many cards do we need? So here's the combo: Enduring Renewal, Zoran Orb, Living Lands, uh,
Living
Concordant
Lands
Cross,
doesn't work with the
Concordant,
sack lands, though.
Concordant Crossroads, and Forest. Oh, and Fast
Forest.
Bond. How many was that?
And Fast Bond. Yeah,
So that's one, two, three, four, five, 6 cards.
yeah.
So then you play a forest, tap it for mana, sack it to the orb. Play a forest, tap it for mana, sack it to the orb. Play a forest, tap it to the and then you have infinite mana, infinite life. Because you're only losing 1 to fastball, you're getting 2 for the dessert orb.
Okay.
Now you could say, okay, I don't want that whole combo. Maybe I just have enduring renewal, uh, living land, and Zern Orb, and concordant, and maybe I'm just getting. Oh, you don't even need concordant actually. Living,
No, yeah, you're not.
fast bond, Zern Orb, and enduring renewal, and then you're just playing forest and sacking them and
Right.
getting infinite life. So
So that sounds easy enough to put together, especially if you do it in Scryings because you get Nature's Lore. So you can actually assemble this like rather quickly.
right. So we got
Yeah.
there. We got there.
Yeah.
There's something there, and
So
uh,
you're trying to win with
so
Fireball still,
yeah.
or
So either
No,
fireball.
Magma Mine.
You could either do Magmamine or you can do Hurricane because you're at infinite life. So Hurricane works too. But Magmamine's probably better.
Because you got the Zern Orb, so it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what that was what was going on through my head. Alan was kind of thinking about Alpha Alliances, but I was like, hey, wait a second. We could apply this to
Just
Scryings
Scryings,
and
yeah.
destroy the format. Not really.
Yeah, I feel like yeah, I feel like even though that is a very Byzantine combo, that like given the card pool, even in Scryings, you could still assemble that between Nature's Lore and Tithe. You can probably get there really really fast, right? But in Alpha Two, oh wait, no, I would say Alpha Alliances. There's no Mirage, so you can't enlighten tutor.
Yeah.
Um,
And so that's what I've been toying with. I don't know. I have it half made, and we'll see. Is it better than Ornithopter in doing renewal?
yes,
I don't know. Is it? Who knows?
yeah. Yeah, because you're just doing lands.
Yeah.
So one
Oh,
of
they can't counter
one,
it.
no, I'm saying like the Ornithopter combo, like a land's not part of the equation. So there's easier you could assemble this easier because one piece is one that you never have to worry about. If that
Um.
makes sense. The
Yeah.
deck would have to be very elegant with like four ofs, but like you never have to worry about they'll land at least.
Right. Right.
And
It.
you could thin your deck out with Tithe, Nature's Lore, and like Latnam's Legacy.
Mm.
And there's like tutors like Noble Benefactor, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, you have that option.
An option.
Here's the gatherer, but so this is what I'm talking about. See, it says here unless
Wait. Look at that. What's the fifth one? Fifth one down. Unless something weird happens. Is that an oracle?
yeah.
Wait, I'll read this. 9/25/2006. Unless something weird happens, quote unquote, the card you draw as a result of the second ability will be the card you revealed.
Yeah. So
Wait, unless something weird. What the fuck kind of wording is that?
I mean, I guess there are cards out there that make things happen, but yeah. So this is what I was talking about.
Right.
If the creature is only a creature due to an effect, it still goes into your hand.
That's interesting. This includes any way to animate a card. Okay.
So it does work.
Huh.
But what does the Ornithopter deck do? It just
Ornithopter sacks to Ashnod's Altar for infinite mana to create a fireball.
oh, that might be better.
No,
Why?
it's not. The deck's slow as shit. That's why. I feel like this deck would be faster.
Yeah. Plus, Ashnod's Altar by itself sucks. Zernor is good. Fastbond, meh.
Zernor better. Now, I think this is better. We can consult Micah about this, but I think he would agree because he's the one that tries to hump this out all the time. And like it's very much an infinite combo. The problem is it's like it's absolutely slow as shit. The thing is like you're playing in white, so you could play 4 swords and 4 disenchants and like some number of like divine offerings to slow your opponent down, or like even wraths. But you have to have Enduring Renewal in play. You have to have Ashnod's Altar in play. You have to have already drawn Ornithopter, right? Like it has to be in your hand already.
Yeah.
And then you need to have a fireball or whatever expel. So, but this seems better because Zernor then also gives you the infinite life. And if you're playing it with Fast Bond, I feel like you could build a much more elegant deck with the combo that you're talking about than the one you have to try and play to make Enduring Renewal, Ornithopter, Ashnod's Altar, Fireball.
Oh God. You just gotta. You just gotta hope. I mean, yeah.
We should.
You could
We should.
still.
We should.
You could
We
still.
should try that.
You can still Tormod's Crypt. That would
Yeah.
kill the combo, but
Yo, legit though. Enduring Renewal community rating 4.325 out of 5.
yeah.
That's like something getting like fucking 90% on Rotten Tomatoes, dude. That's pretty decent.
60 votes. Is that good?
Yeah. Like a lot of people don't really vote.
All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on. Dark Ritual.
Oh, come on.
5 stars. 0 votes. What? How is that even possible?
Go to sets and legality. That might change something.
Oh.
126. Okay, yeah, 4.937. So like, yeah, that's like you're 98% on Rotten Tomatoes there.
Hold
Oh, this is gonna turn into a fun game.
on. We're looking up Ancestral Recall. Oh, okay. So even Ancestral gets 4.8
Who the fuck didn't give Ancestral 5 stars?
Probably a red mage. What's a car everybody likes? Soul Ring. Everybody likes Soul Ring, right? Like everybody.
There's
Yeah, like it's still
there.
not.
You know what this is, Andy? There's some jackass out there that's like just one starring all these cards because they have nothing better to do.
Just like I will burn in hell. I'll be damned that somebody has a 5 out of 5.
Wait. Okay, now I get to play. What's Time Walk?
Time Walk? All right.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Time. I didn't even know this was a card. Time Sidewalk.
Yeah, it's one of those fucking mystery booster things.
4.868.
Oh.
Wait. Oh, 4.871 for beta.
Wait. So, oh God. See, now I'm gonna waste a lot of my time figuring out what has the highest community rating on Oracle. Dark Ritual though, that was what, 4.9 something?
It was high. It was 4 point something.
It was 4.9
9 or
something,
8 or something. Yeah.
Oh wait.
But,
Here we go. What's Lightning Bolt?
Okay, here we go. Lightning bolt. Oh. Oh my goodness.
This is really
Oh man, hold on. Sorry.
this is beyond excellent content right here. Two nerds really deep nerding.
We're going down a rabbit hole, people.
This is a deep one.
It's loading.
It's loading. Yeah, Lightning Bolt
Okay,
just
here it
broke
is.
the
Wait, this
server.
is not alpha. What is this?
No.
Here we go. 4.789 for alpha. Beta is clearly higher. Hold on.
242 votes though. Okay.
And beta has 4.760.
It's interesting how the different sets have different ratings.
I guess
When
they
it's the
rate it.
same-
I guess artwork has something to do with it.
Yeah, maybe the same card.
Where's the full? Oh, this looks hideous.
That's a great art.
Anyway.
That's pretty good art.
All right. Well, that's what we have.
Well, so what we were trying to say is on the next pod, I think we'll talk about Alpha 2 Alliance's anti.
unless we beat a dead horse on this.
Unless we killed
podcast.
our listenership completely, and none of you will ever listen to this ever again. In which case, I vouch for you. That's probably fine.
You okay? Do you want to save these top 8 picks for next time, or do you want to run through that now?
No. We'll save them for the
Okay.
next pod, I think.
All right.
Meanwhile, let's summon demons, everyone.
Later. All right. That sounds like a good. Let me quit this.
Merry Hana Kwanzaa miss to you, Andy.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy holidays, everybody. Tune in, subscribe, hit that like and subscribe button.
Smash it.